You're a scroll. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, your one and only host,
the Cosmic Jedi.
Welcome back to my channel. Previously on Secret Invasion Review, Part 1. People are getting paid for this. People are getting their money in their pocket. People have already eaten their money. They've traveled to Ibiza. They've gone on holiday. They've married. They're paying for their children's school fees. All that kind of stuff. Whilst you're just making dumb shows. You don't care. So I think to myself, maybe I'm the stupid one. Maybe people like me are the stupid ones who sit down and watch these shows and then think, yeah, this is good TV. Maybe we're the stupid ones. Because for God's sakes, man, everything they've compiled together right from the Captain Marvel movie doesn't make sense. I don't know who the Skrulls are. I still don't know what they want. You want us to explore these things bit by bit. Don't rush it. So that way we get attached to certain characters. My brother even mentioned the Skrull makeup is packed on. Why didn't they just make them look like Gamora to an extent with different texture, or like Drax? Why didn't you just allow the actors who they've chosen to play these roles? So that way, even though we're seeing them in Skrull form, it's still the actor's features. Just like the mask. It's Jim Carrey there. Bald, cheekbones, a little exaggerated, but you can still tell it's Jim Carrey. You don't look at the mask and go, well, that looks like Will Smith. That looks like it's Tom Cruise. Yeah, it's a very good prosthetics. It's Jim Carrey. But just do it in a way where, okay, we know we're watching these alien species, we can shapeshift. So that way, when they change to the humanoid form, it's still the actors playing themselves without any makeup or prosthetics. And again, one could argue that you're sitting down in a chair for 9 hours or 15 hours just to put on makeup, just like Mystique, at the actresses who played Mystique, they went through sitting down in a chair, you get numb, it's tiring. You could also have the complete argument saying, well, you get paid for it, so shut up. Hey, I've never sat in a chair for a long amount of time while people are, pasting and unpasting with glue, unglue, warm, cold, heat, whatever it is. I don't know how it feels. But if you're going to do something like the Skrull invasion, what that's telling me is you have the enough money to do it. You have the enough money to do it. Meaning you're going to do either little polka dots on the face for mocap, and you're going to do a mixture of practical effects to the mask, or don't bother. The makeup was very bad in this. Because I was even thinking to myself, how are you going to do Skrull invasion on Disney Plus? You have to pull it off well. Then they had the balls to say this show cost 200. Is it 200 million or 30 million? I can't even remember anymore.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect up on the street.
I just think these guys just make these lines up just to say it. It's going to sound wow. Tell them it costs 200 million to make. Tell them. It costs 200 million to make. Wow, we have to watch the show. In my head, I was like, when I start this review, it's definitely going to be like the Flash thing. Part 1, 2, 3, and 4. Maybe just part 1 to 3. I don't know. But boy, these things irritate me because, like I said earlier on, I do ask myself the question, am I the silly one paying money to watch these stupid shows? Because again, they've written, acted, cut, money sent to the account. We are the ones sitting and going, my theory could be, next episode, I think, they've already written their stupid show and they don't give a shit.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect up on the street.
Whereas guys like me would get all tensed up and it's such a disrespect to the original source material. Kai. Even as I'm recording this, as I'm pointing out like a fourth wall breaking thing, I'm still recording. Camera's still rolling. Anyway, show has to go on. Let us proceed.
None of them have lived the life I have. None of them can defend the world the way I can.
Do you see what I'm saying? What kind of line is this? Does that sound like something this character would say? Someone who put the Avengers together. We got to see these people come together because he said we need them together, and sent out Coulson, Black Widow to each of them one by one. Go and do this, go and do that, blah, 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 and brought them together. They had to then become this team by learning about each other's quirks, weaknesses, strengths, and especially what happened to them that day, as in a bunch of people or beings who were just here to destroy this planet or take over this planet under the rulership or guise of Loki / Thanos. And that's when you knew Thanos was already playing a long game. Long game. To him, it's nothing. I take over planets on a regular. In my sleep, I'm taking over planets. It's a long game he was playing. So that's a nice little soft way to just plant seeds, Easter eggs bit by bit. Don't rush your show. Don't rush. Small, small. Small, small. Take your time. Instead, they forced us into Captain Marvel and then give us the whole, you will never be a fisherman. Yes, I will. You never be a fisherman. Yes, I will. You never know how to do go-kart. You never know how to fly a jet. You're just a woman.
Without us, You're only human.
What are we watching?
You're only human.
What are we watching, my guys?
You're only human.
There are better ways to tell stories. Better, far, far, far better ways to tell stories. Far better ways. Don't go and find someone who is so hurt in themselves that they spew out their own anger and hate and dislike into the script, into the story you want to. And again, are you the one telling the story, Disney, Marvel? Or are you just calling directors, come, let's hear what you want us to tell? No, it's okay, we don't want you to. Next one. Recently, Marvel split with director over creative differences. What does that mean? What does that mean? What stories do you want to tell, Marvel and Disney? What do you want to tell? Because right from the first Avengers movies to Endgame, it's gone well. We can at least say few hit and misses here and there, but collectively, correct one. Even the first of all the characters movies, the second one for Thor, Ragnarok, whoa, even for me too. First Iron Man movie, of course, it's the first movie. Then you do the second one, third one, okay, I can dig it. In fact, I actually enjoyed the second one more than the third one. Then you introduce the TV shows like Daredevil, Luke Cage, and so on. Those ones too, Daredevil was, whoo. Then you threw in the Punisher. They rushed Ultron as well. That could have been the same thing similar to Hydra, or that could have been the same thing similar to Secret Invasion. This entity, this Ultron force, just sat there quiet, chilling, relax. I'm in no hurry. I'm in your technology. I'm in your internet. I'm in your nuclear missile launch and whatnot. Your phones, your gadgets, your iPad, iPod, everywhere. I'm in your cameras. I'm in your microphone. I can do what I want anytime, anyhow. I'll just sit down and take my time. Don't rush the guy. So I don't know whether it's just make this movie and make money. No, I think you are greedy and stupid. Maybe I'm stupid too for watching your shows and your movies or some of your movies that are crap, but I think you are greedy and stupid. You want to make money fast. When you guys make your money, where do you spend it on? How many yachts can everyone have? How many private islands can anyone have? Where is the money going? So that way we can understand, that's why they're just turning things out fast. This guy just rushed things. Here we have a character who was competent enough to foresee a future where they would end up being invaded by aliens. And he saw that fast enough and put these people together. And in that movie, you could tell it was a kind of rush job, but it worked. He didn't bring them together saying, okay, this is my Avengers base. We're going to train and practice. Why? Because I feel there's something coming, blah, blah, blah. He didn't do all of that. Loki came, did what he did. Yes. But he already had the idea in his mind. He already had the file on lockdown, just in case. Loki gave him the just in case reason. He said, Loki is a present threat, but now it's like, I need them together. Now they've already grown over the years. And look what they've done, especially after him come back from the snapping thing. Only for him to drop this kind of line. No one can defend the world like Ike. What does that mean? This is similar to the line that She-Hulk gave Hulk in her show. You haven't gone through what I've gone through. My guy. Some of us are so pissed. If you've held a gauntlet that you snapped, you've done science experiment on yourself to just meld your green self to your human self. You've put a gun in your mouth. If you've gone through the exact same thing, you have the balls and the cojones to say that. Now, these characters aren't real in real life, but it's the impact that they have on the psyche of people who watch the shows, or the emotional resonance they have, how they make certain people feel. The same way when you read a very good book, you feel a particular way. The same way when you listen to music, you feel a particular way. These things influence us in different ways. Some people are going through such hardships in their life. Now, watching a good TV show helps them. I have this very particular analogy I use a lot. Now, some people may not like this, to each their own. Hear me out though. When TV shows like Bill Cosby's show came out, way back when, the impact it had on a lot of brown people, a lot of African American, Afro-Caribbean, all melanated people. Imagine people who didn't have parents in the house. Imagine people who were orphans. Imagine people who had parents, but they were being mistreated by the parents. People who had no dreams, ambitions, or desires because of the environment that they lived in. So to hear someone talk about being a doctor, lawyer, or this and that, it didn't even It didn't even reach their radar. Some people were brought up by the Cosby Show. Some people were brought up by the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air show, by a different world and different strokes. All those old classic shows, some people were brought up. Some people who were about to commit suicide caught one or two of those episodes, changed their minds. Some people learned to be better parents by watching those shows. Some people learned to be better siblings, boyfriends, lovers, to be a better version of themselves by just watching those shows. So no one knows per se the impact these shows can have on human lives, especially when you have the intention to write something different than what people are used to seeing. They said, no, we're going to do a different show where we talk about current themes, and we let them know that families like us, brown families, African descendant families like us exist. But because in your circumference it's not real for you, or you don't have any relationship with people like that, it's a myth until you see it on TV repeatedly. Imagine what that does to your psyche. Imagine what that does to someone who has no hope, no dream, no joy, no laughter. Bit by bit, bit by bit. It reinforces something into the mind. It reinforces something into your psyche over and over again. And eventually you break out of this rut that you're in. You could say it's the environment, the country, for whatever reason. Certain people were suffering or are suffering, or whichever way it is, whether it's social media, whether it's music, whether it's movies, whether it's TV shows, it inspires, it changes, it can heal, it can improve one's life. These are stories, and stories have the power of changing our lives, changing our minds, helping us for the better, helping us see things different, helping us alleviate, or teaching us how a people or a thing can be, or teaching us how not to look at this how not to look at life as this black and white thing. Nuances, understand the origin story of a person. Even some people sided with Thanos in Infinity War. They're like, yo, yeah, I agree with that. I definitely did not. You have a gauntlet that can snap. You can snap it and it takes half of the cosmos, not just one planet, but the whole galaxy. My guy, multiply. Multiply the things you say they are rationing. There's no food, create food. Improve the ozone layer of everything. You can sit and say any technology that is not helping the planet or any planets in the cosmos, destroyed. The idea of creating any technology in the planet that's going to cause disorder and disharmony to the planet and destroy the ozone layer of whatever planet in any cosmos, destroy. He just said, nah, that based on how he grew up as well. So the same thing he experienced poverty in such a way, he experienced pain in such a way. He went out on his journey based on his experience to find a way to get this gauntlet, to then do what he felt was the best solution he could come up with. He didn't delegate with elders, a collective of people. He didn't even ask the Avengers, how do you guys think I should do this? I mean, I had the gauntlet. What do you think we should do to improve the planet? Because your gauntlet apparently is the power of the cosmos itself. Hence, it's in the word, right? Infinity Stone. So anything is possible. Increase the planet's size. Fix the universe. Or maybe the gauntlet, you could use the gauntlet to say, let me talk to the entity that created this whole thing. Why not? If you gave me that gauntlet, I won't do the exact same thing. I will not do the exact same thing if you gave me that gauntlet. So in certain ways, these shows have impact on the mind, consciously or unconsciously or subconsciously, in some way, shape, or form. When you watch certain things, if you're not careful what you're watching, people will latch onto certain stupid things and just think it's okay. So these things stick out like a sore thumb to me, because we know who Nick Fury is. But to try and convince me that this dialogue is coming from the same character who put the Avengers together, who was working with S.H.I.E.L.D., who operated S.H.I.E.L.D. in such a way that he you could almost say he was a pain in the ass to the people who were running S.H.I.E.L.D. above him. But even someone who was working for S.H.I.E.L.D. the way he was working for S.H.I.E.L.D., he still knew that, hey, if you let these people get too much power, they will misuse this power. Even inside the S.H.I.E.L.D. that he was working for and working with, he still, again, thought ahead. What if these guys go rogue? The Hydra thing probably had a little inkling, probably someone inside that could mess us up. Hence the whole secret stuff he was doing with Black Widow. All these things you set up right from the beginning. You then want us to believe that this line he said makes sense.
We can't keep depending on these superheroes to swoop in and save our asses. None of them have lived the life I have. None of them can defend the world the way I can.
Come on. And now someone could say, oh, yeah, nitpicking. No, it's not nitpicking. Not nitpicking is one thing to say dialogue. The whole show itself is stupid. I still don't know why the Skrulls are here. Of all the planets in the cosmos, of all the planets in the quadrant where the Skrullus planet is, because you not lie to me and tell me that Skrulus is in the same solar system as Earth. Because when Captain Marvel, at the end of the Captain Marvel movie, when she and the spaceship left Earth's atmosphere, they didn't just fly away. They warped away. That means they were jumping space-time because they didn't just cruise. Bye, Fury.
Goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye.
They both went zoop. Them gone. They left. Lights, they warped.
Now it's time to go.
Warp always insinuates it's wherever they're going is far, so we need to get there quick.
Space, a final frontier.
And that means the gap, the distance between both planets is vast. So whatever gap between Skrullos and Earth is far. Whatever happened to you on Skrullos, maybe the Kree came to invade and then you couldn't fight the Kree, you couldn't hold them off. Even that too doesn't sound realistic. You guys can shape-shift into any or most humanoid forms. You guys couldn't infiltrate the Kree?
Come on, don't bullshit me.
Don't lie and say the Kree know how to tell who's Skrull, who's not Skrull, because that would have been very helpful. That Fury could have developed that with Shuri or with Talos, especially Talos himself. You're a Skrull. When you're in the same room with another Skrull and he or she is shapeshifted into a human being or whatever creature, how can you both tell? Do you give off pheromones? Do you have any chemicals you give off? So I can create something that I can wear that detects that chemical quietly. I don't want to sit in the room and this thing says, oh, here's a Skrull, here's a Skrull, here's a Skrull, here's a Skrull. Now I want to be able to do it quietly. So when my wristwatch just buzzes quietly, I still, okay, that person is Skrull. Then I can track the person with my little one eye patch or a contact lens here. And then I'm sending relay messages. And again, like I said earlier on, you want to keep it small to a group of people you can trust. Maria Hill, Talos himself, and maybe Shuri from Wakanda. That way you're introducing the idea that there could be a Skrull infiltration. Let Shuri know, hey, make sure your security is tight. Introduce the Skrull to the existence of Skrull to Shuri and her people, and then let them do what they're doing in the back there so that way they're protected. Because if you then tell me that they got infiltrated, that won't make sense. This is Wakanda. Because the way you've introduced these people seems like they have sense. You can't then dumb them down because they are doing secret invasion. You misintroduce the characters. You misintroduce the Skrulls. You rushed the introduction of the Skrulls. Now you want us to swallow this nonsense you are giving us. This is as bad as the Flash. You just throw shit in people's faces and say, take it. Take it. Because we can. We are Disney and Marvel. Take shit. Ooh. Shit in your face. Shit in your face. Take it. Lick it. Lick it. Lick it. Lick it. Yum yum. Yum yum. Yum yum. So good. So good. What the fuck, man? What the flying fuck? Damn it, man. How do you guys even lose your planet? And then Talos happens to bring 1 million of you on Earth. What is so good about Earth in the first? Have you been here before? What is so good about Earth? Because you haven't even shown us how Skrullos looks like. We don't know what it looks like. If they had said, oh, it's so similar to Earth. Skrullos is so lovely, you'd have loved to see it. Then flashback, boom, we see children playing in Skrullos. They all look different. Their material is different. Even the clothes they wear is different from human beings. Graphic was saying, no, we don't get to look like ourselves in Earth. We have to be hiding in human skin. No one said you can't look like yourself. We don't even know you exist. We don't know you exist. Come on, man.